What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips where we really get it in, right? If you can't get it in, you got to fit it in because we're definitely going to fit this in. But before we fit anything in, fit your hand over there to that notification button. Hit that like and subscribe, and tune in and turn up with your boy The Gun as we take you on another adventure right here on the Collective Clips. It's a little different from Gunner's Collective, but the same damn thing. You know what it is, man. So trip out. I wanted to tell you guys a story, right? A treacherous, dangerous story, right? About some vatos from Peru and some Sureños, some southsiders, right? Now, everybody already knows, man, let's not sugarcoat shit. We don't do that right here, right? The southsiders and the blacks have always had some type of beef, right? Now, not all the time, not every hood, not every vato has friction, but there's an addiction to conflict, right? And they be really conflicting down south like a motherfucker. Now, being from up north, we never really had that. I mean, we had skirmishes, little melees and things of that nature. There was some funk between the Merced Gangster Crips and Dead End Locals. The whole west side, the best side, that put you to rest side, two slugs to your chest side, that put you in death side, right? I'm going to tell you, the west. We definitely had a lot of bullshit going on, but it wasn't like we was trying to kill motherfuckers or nothing. It was just we didn't like the blacks and they didn't like us, right? I mean, I did. I was cool with them, but the hood didn't, and so I had to roll with the hood. It's just the way the game goes. Politics is politics. Now, the South has always been different. You know, there's been green lights, verdes. There's been a lot of different things that have went on between big gangs. You know, gangs like Florencia, gangs like the East Coast Crips, the Pyrus, Compton. And this is about some vatos from Compton 70s, right? Ooh, they were not playing. So I'm on a compa in Nellis, Fred C. Nellis to be exact, right? I'm on a compa called Madison. Now, Madison was where the knuckleheads were at. And that's where they placed me. Well, they threw me around like a rag doll. I was a northerner trying to get in where I fit in. Didn't fit in anywhere, but they pushed me through that door. So I end up on Madison. Ultimately, this was to be the last compa that I was going to be on. And a compa, for those of you that can't speak Spanglish, is a building, right? A compa is a building, a facility, a unit, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Woods, we just called it home, eh? Right? You know what I mean? Straight up. So we're definitely right there functioning, doing our thing. And there's a vato there from 70s, right? Vato named Clavo from 70s. Good vato, good gente, man. I remember he was very respectful in his willings and dealings with the Northerners. He was very humble. He just went to school, did his program, came back, but he had the eye of the tiger, the dun, 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 dun. That eye that told you if you fucked with them, he was going to put metal in you. Deep, right? I can't sleep when you talk to me. I go deep if you're mugging me. You'll suffocate when you are close to me. Get the fuck you roast with me. I'm going out of my mind. He was a fucking psychopath. You could tell by looking in his eyes. But at the same time, he was a smooth character. Like I said, very respectful and humble. Got nothing bad to say about the vato other than he had this fucking look like he would fucking fuck you, right? Over and over again with a knife. Bad intentions. Now, so these vatos are from Compton, and I didn't know the history of Compton barrios, some barrios, with the Compton Pyrus or the Pyrus in general. You know, there wasn't a lot of Bloods or Damus or Pyrus when I was in Nellis. I'm just going to be real. I can name you maybe off the top of my head 20 that I ran into, whereas I can name you 1,000 Crips that I ran into. The Crip thing was pretty much the deepest right there in Nellis as far as the blacks. There was even more Bay Area cats than there was Bloods. It was a trip. They just didn't send a lot of sangres there, but the Bloods all stuck together. The Pyrus all stuck together. I know there's a difference between Blood and Pyru, but I'm not going to sit here and get down to the nitty gritty with the bullshit. Right? I'm just saying they all stuck together. Thick. They reminded me of the Norteños because we, no matter what city we were from, no matter what hood or barrio we were from, we all stuck together, right? We needed each other's back like a motherfucker, right? The Southsiders, there was always constant bickering, fighting. They got down with their enemigas. It was more hood shit, barrio warfare all day, every day. Vatos from 12th Street, Laverne, vatos from fucking Venice, vatos from the list could go on and on. Playboys in 18, and there was so much beef there. You didn't know who was going to walk through that doors at any given time and who was going to get off on them. But guaranteed, Holmes, if you've ever been to the CYA, to the Youth Authority, you fought. You fought like, if there's one guy that says that he's been to the Youth Authority and never had a fight, he lied to you. He just lied to you. He did. He lied a lot, right? Ask him his Y number. And if he says like 9 different numbers, he's lying. So, trip out. This vato from 70s is there, and he has a little jugo. He has a little juice. He's cool with, you know, who he needed to be cool with. And his Ranfla was like the main Sureños there, the main Southsiders. See, there was a lot of different Ranflas, right? And now Ranflas are your car, the people who you kick it with. And usually there'd be less than 10 people. The Norteños, we didn't have Ranflas. We all just stuck together because we were at minimal numbers. But the Sureños, there was so many of them. You would have like the 805 car, not necessarily the 805 car, but a lot of vatos from Bakers would chill over there, and Oxnard and Ventura, and you know, things of that nature, Santa Barbara, Santa Maria, all that. And then of course you had LA, you know, vatos from LA that stuck together, different vatos that weren't in conflict, and even some that were kicked it. And then you had the Valle and the Sol Valle and then SGV and Sanfe and all that. Harbor area, Northeast LA, Sela. I know a lot, huh? Trip out. They all had their own little thing going. But this carro was different. This carro comprised a vato from Harbor area, a couple vatos from the Valle, vato from East Los, a vato from South Los, and of course the vato from Compton from 70s, right? So two Pyrus pull up. And these Pyrus, right, as soon as they pulled up, they started seeking and questioning who was who and what was what. Now, most people do that. You know, you want to know where you're at, if you have any enemies so you can handle your business. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, vatos would take it to the bliñas and handle it in the cuts. They're not trying to get a level A or a level B. They're not trying to go to the box, right, to the hole. Most dudes are just trying to get away. And most of the placas there will let you handle your business. They didn't want to do paperwork and deal with all the macing and bullshit. You know, that was overtime. And saying these fat fuckers weren't trying to do overtime. Let's get handle it, right? If you're going to gangbang, gangbang. You know, Sasuke, just leave the white guy alone in the corner. Don't gangbang. You know what I mean? Leave him there. Because Sasuke, they were up shit creek with 2 paddles, and they were both broken in half. They were doing this. Looked like Flipper, right? There on Gilligan's Island, the skipper to the millionaire, and the whites. Right? And I felt bad for the white boys, man. There wasn't very many of them, but the ones that were rocking and rolling. Twisted Sister. Now, Trip. So these Pyrus start asking a lot of questions about, you know, who's on there. And Clavo's name comes up from 70s, right? Now, I don't know what beef they had with Compton at this particular time, but they had a lot of beef with Compton. And I guess the Pyrus were going at it on the streets quite effectively with the Southsiders from Compton, right? So these guys devised a plan to get this dude. But what they didn't understand was, you know, this is how it is in YA. You have to make your move fast. You have to handle your business or set the fight up and handle it on Fridays when a certain fucking CO comes in. Because if you wait, Holmes, shit could flip and change. You know, I've been on compas where it was just nothing but Southsiders, and in 2 weeks we're deeper. You know, it's just been like that. You know, that's how it was. The cops, it was constant flow. People getting shipped out, people coming in, new people from other compas, vatos you fought within the square area, now are there. All kinds of different shit was happening. So anyways, this vato, these 2 fucking vatos are asking what's going on with this guy, and they're going to put a movida down. You could tell something's going on, and I'm telling my homeboy Bads, I'm like, hey, bro, these fucking sangres, they're going to handle business on you because I think they're going to try to murk this fool out. They're going to body him, right? And I was like, shit, bro. I feel bad because he was raza, but then again, shit, you know what I mean? Kill him. You know what I mean? That's how motherfuckers were. They were scandalous. Everybody wanted to see a good fight. Bunch of drama queens, right? So they're going to do their thing. We could tell, but like I said, what a difference a day makes. Here the door opens and 7 more Southsiders walk in the door, and 3 of them are from Compton. One was from Tortilla Flats, and one of them was from, Largo? And the other one was from 155s. Now, these are, I swear, these 3 walk in, they see Clavo. It's all love, man. It's a Compton thing, right? But now you got 4 vatos from Compton and 2 sangres, whereas there was 1 and 2, and they could have handled their business. They could have did the 1-2 step. They waited. They procrastinated. And now they're about to get faded. And it did happen like that, right? So someone, I'm not going to say who, man, but let's just say someone of a different race, not a Mexican, happened to tell this vato, Clavo, that it was about to go down, that these vatos were going to move on him, but that now they're hesitating because there was more guys from Compton. Now, these brothers were no punks. These brothers had just come from Nixon. Nixon was a lockup unit, basically like the shoe. And everyone that got up out that shoe usually went right back in. Everyone that got up out that shoe wanted to handle motherfucking business. Period, plain and simple, right? So these vatos come out, like I said, with an agenda to catch a body. They was trying to do something big. They was trying to hit Tracy Prison or Chino, straight up. But now there's 4, you know what I mean? There's 4 Southsiders from Compton. And the wind catches. And Clavo hears this, right? So now the Southsiders do a plan of action. The plan of action is we're going to get off right now, right? Hey, these vatos knew enough to not wait. They had the numbers. The numbers were in their favor. They were going to get off. Well, that same fucking individual, straight Jainita, right, goes back and tells the Sangres, hey, I think the Southsiders are going to move on you. Hey, straight bullshitter, a type of author that just caused shit, right? I know who he was, too. He's not slick, you know, and he's still active, too, thinks he's bad. So anyways, he's running back and forth like a fucking hyena and heat and letting everyone know what's going on. And meanwhile, we're just sitting back like some thumbtacks and we're watching this go on. We're watching the moves go down. We're seeing pieces being passed, battery packs. Now, one thing I could say about the Southsiders, right, and the blacks was if you're going to rock, you're going to rock. They're not going to just let it be an isolated incident. There was rules and regulations in the youth authority. And one of the rules that every race, every fucking person went by was one jump, all jump. Actually, there was two rules that one of them we went by for sure. I don't know if everyone else did it, was don't stomp your enemy out when they're on the ground. A riot, yeah, it says you get your fucking stabilization. But if it's a one-on-one fight, you needed to let him get up. You couldn't stomp him out. That would immediately cause a riot. And most people weren't trying to go that route. They were trying to go on the freeze. They weren't trying to get a ride or go to the oil. It was like, if you can get down one-on-one at the placas and let you handle it, handle it. So you couldn't stop no one out. And you definitely, if something popped off, like immediately right there, that wasn't scheduled or set up as a one-on-one fight, everybody gets off, you know, for the most part. There were isolated incidents, 3-on-3s or whatever, where people were like, hey, they're handling it. It just makes no sense. But usually if it was racial, the whole fucking compa will pop, and then other compas will pop, because you know how it is with the Southsiders. You touch one, everybody goes off. You fight one bean, you're going to fight the whole goddamn carne asada burrito, right? Con lechuga, you like lettuce? Con crema and a little cilantro, and let's go, vámonos. Cebolla to your preference. Now, these vatos, these blacks felt it. So they started to tell all the other blacks, hey man, we think these Southsiders are going to move on all of us. Cold motherfuckers, right? They went in there to handle business. And now they're telling everyone, hey, man, you got my back, got your back, you got my back, right? Come on, brother, on par, bro, right? Like I said, not saying they were punks, because, man, they were working motherfuckers over. But they definitely needed some backup. They needed a backup plan, because the Southsiders were already like numbers, Holmes. It wasn't just going to be them four from Compton. Like I said, there was some conflict with Pyrus and Compton. I don't know the whole details, but maybe someone's family member had been murked or something. I don't know. Anyways, these Southsiders were arming themselves. So one of this vato named Horse from Southside 13th Street. I remember, man, he comes up to us and he's like, hey, and we had been in a couple of riots against each other. He was a cool dude, you know what I mean? Hey, he handled his business like he should, and was professional about it. It's like, hey, Holmes, business is business, you know? And I don't have nothing against you vatos. I don't even know what norteños are, but at the same time, you know what it is. So anyways, he's like, hey, are you guys backing these fucking sangres up? In these Crips, because now the Crips are involved too. It's all the blacks. And that's how it was in Nellis. It wasn't even really a Crip blood thing. It was between them, but when it came to the Mexicans, it was black, right? How it should be. So he's like, are you gonna ride with them or what? You know, we're like, ride with them. You know what I mean? Says, yeah, shit. See all you sureños? There's vatos trying to hide with them. It's crazy. We're like, nah, we're out of this business, man. This ain't our business. This doesn't pertain to us. Just like when we get down, the brothers say it doesn't pertain to us. No, that's SA business, right? There were some brothers, those C-14ers that rocked. There were some vatos like Devil Dog from Hoover. Shout out, some respects. My brother right there. Forever, homie. You know? Just some real motherfuckers. But we were out of this one. So I was getting, hey, this was started by two dudes thinking that they were coming in hot and heavy, like a roast beef sandwich, right? And they were about to get fucking Parmesan spreaded. So the Southsiders are like, all right, that's all we got to hear. You know, once we pop this off, we're going to pop it off in the yard. Now, usually most of the riots kicked off in the day room. Don't ask me why. I don't know if motherfuckers just felt protected in there. I never seen the reasoning behind kicking it off in the day room, because to be honest with you, when you mace one person, everyone feels it. Everyone gets fucked off. Secondhand smoke, right? So I was like, why don't we just do this outside? It'll blow towards the caja. Fuck, we don't need, you know what I mean, to be feeling this way. We can get our money. Plus, there's more room to wiggle, right? In there, it's just chairs and I don't know. People wanted weaponry. It was easier to hide, I guess, pieces and stuff, you know, in the day room, under the chairs, whatever. So that's just the way the mentality was, you know, get off fucking right there. So they're like, we're going to get off on the yard. I was like, ooh, it's going to be a big one. I told my homeboy, man, there's going to be brothers and Sureño juice everywhere, right? Stand back and wear a raincoat. Let me tell you what happened. So we're thinking it's going to pop off on yard. We had yard twice a day, right? So we had like daytime yard. And then we'd come, you know, those that went to school, some people would get put out on the yard if they didn't have school. And, you know, it was just it was at the leisure of the placa, of the YC, the youth counselor. If you wanted to go outside and smoke a frajo, because they'd be walking around smoking, then they let you go out there if you didn't have school and whatever. But our main yard was in the evening time. And I'd say after school, like about right after dinner, like 6, 7 o'clock, we'd have a couple of hours of day room and yard, or yard first, then we'd go to day room for like an hour, and then bam, to our bunks, and fuck you guys, you have nothing coming, you know, and it's just time to fucking night crawl and smoke cigarettes. Now, so we're expecting it to pop up sometime in the daytime, you know, because we're thinking that these blacks, now everyone's preparing air, it's quiet. When I say quiet, I mean, hear that? That's all you heard, like the whistling of the fucking fans, right? It was very quiet. And vatos are all staring at each other. You, motherfucker. You, right? It wasn't nothing like American Me, bro. This is real life shit. People were going to get off where they were mad at, right? So everyone's being real quiet, and Northerners were just looking like, damn, I don't even want to listen to my Walkman. It might just fucking just might set this motherfucker off because they could hear it through the CL20s. So anyways, everyone's staring at each other, and I'm just waiting for it to pop off. Nothing happens. We go to chow. Quiet. Quiet as it's ever been in Ellis, right? I'm just like, oh shit, I'm eating my porridge like, I'm just talking the first person to act stupid with me, right? We go to the night yard, and as soon as we go to the night yard, hike! The southsiders rush. All right, so this is how they used to do it. They used to put us out in the yard, and we'd all line up on this brick wall, right? And it was like all the way to the end, to the front of the door, and then the cop would blow a whistle. And everybody would take off running. Those that had to handle their business would go behind the handball court. But most people just broke off. Some went to the basketball court. Some went to the handball. Some just went off in the corner to smoke a frajo. You know, some went to go dig up a piece, you know, to feel like they're in Folsom. It just was what it was. There was different pockets and groups of everyone. And there's one cop out there walking around not caring what happens. You know, if you die, just fucking die on someone else's shift. So as soon as they blew that whistle, it was like blowing a whistle to fucking the movie 300. This is Sureño! Them motherfuckers, they just all rushed. They just turned around and caught every black dude they could. And the blacks started popping it off. And I ain't gonna lie, man, them two Pyrus, they was getting it. Them two dudes ran towards the dudes from Compton. And it was 4 dudes versus 2. And they were fucking chunking them in the middle of the yard. And I remember we were like, damn, right? Because up until this point, I had seen little skirmishes between black and brown. But I'm gonna be honest with you, in Ellis, it wasn't much. I heard in Basel and different places that they did pop off like quite a bit. But in Ellis, it really wasn't that too much. You know, it was like little one-on-ones or a little 3, whatever. But it was never no big-ass fucking shit like this. Usually it was North and South that popped it like that. Man, let me tell you something. There was this white dude. He was from the Inland Empire, from Riverside. Riva, right? Riverside area? Psh, bro, he had this crib, bro. He had him against the fence, right? And was trying to stuff him through the fence. I swear to God, his Vato's ear was almost in the oil, right? He was fucking stuffing him, right? And this other crick came up. Actually, he's a Hoover, right? Chinaman from Hoover. And he said, oh, you can. That white guy disintegrated. That was it. Gone. And to this day, I've never seen that white man, right? That wood got caught. But man, it was a fucking melee. It was a riot like I'd never seen. And it all got started over, I guess, the beef between Compton and Pyrus. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if they're still beefing or if that beef was real relevant. Look, I got fucking shit coming out of my mouth. That's how it really was. But they did. Everyone had shit coming out their mouth. It was fucked up. But they definitely got off where they were mad at, man. And that was the one time that I actually sat there and watched. Was able to watch. It was fun too, because I was like, get him! Fuck, I say, Negro, come here! Come here! Right? The homeboy from Pomona. Come here! What? Damn, fool, you kicked the shit out of fool. All right? It was crazy. But the brothers got theirs and the Sureño got theirs, and I'm not going to say who won or who lost. Let's just say everybody are winners in that, and everybody were losers in that, especially us, because we went on lockdown right along with the rest of these motherfuckers, and we was mad at the world. No visits. I remember homeboy was like, fool, man, my old lady was going to visit. Stop it, bro. You're 14. You ain't got an old lady. You don't even got a peepa yet. Let it go. With that being said, true, actual, factual stories that happened in my lifetime, man. The Sureños went at it with the Pyrus, and the Crips. Shit. Basically, every black man, the black and brown, I want them to unite. I want them to come together. But man, it sure is fun watching the riot. Too bad you guys never got to see one. With that being said, bang, bang, you already know what it is. Gunner Gang, man. Tap into the collective clips. Shout out and respects, man. And go tap in with my boy Dub in the Dub S channel. My boy Food and Felons. Stay tapped in, man. You know what I mean? Rewind it, play it. Rewind it, play it. Because his shit is bomb. And of course, Trap Island Records, man. Go fuck with my boy, my little homie, man. You already know what it is, man. The representation of what we got going on is real. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive and struggle and struggle and strive, honestly, for what I truly believe in, and that's bringing everyone together. I tell these stories to let you know, man, that everyone that thinks being locked up is all fun, well, sometimes it is, but not very much. Bang, bang, the gun.